Thank you. Mr. Gerben-Jan Gerbrandy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In the centre, Mr. Šefčovič, thank you. Although you mentioned in your 5 pillars energy efficiency and the decarbonisation of our energy supply, I noticed that in your answers you focused a lot on fossil fuels, securing gas supply, etc., etc. But do you agree with me that making Europeans' energy less costly, less dirty and less dependent, we should focus a lot on renewables, and that also in Eastern Europe, in the long term, focusing much more on renewables is the best strategy? Now the European Council is having its internal fights this week to come up with a final deal. We know that there is an East-West division within the Council. Are you going to convince the Eastern partners in our EU that a very ambitious climate and energy policy is in their own interest?
Thank you very much. I will definitely do my best already tomorrow in the General Affairs Council in Luxembourg. And I think what is the most important for Thursday is to have very clear common European agreement on this matter, where we make sure that Europe is moving in one direction, speaks in one voice, a very clear framework what we want to achieve, not only between now and the Paris meeting, but up to 2030 and up to 2050. I think that when we look at the targets which have been set for 2030 framework, we've been just working in the Commission with very solid impact assessments based on our commitment. We undertook that by 2050 the developed world should decrease the carbon emissions by 80 to 90%. And that was the starting point from which we went down to the figures which we proposed to you and to the member states. And I think that it's more and more clear also to the Central and Eastern European member states that it's very important to focus also on renewables. The progress is there. The worry which they have is that they have different starting positions, they have different financing possibilities, and they have a different quality of grids in these countries to actually accommodate the renewables. Therefore, I see as very important to have 2 elements in the package which will be discussed on Thursday. The first is effort sharing, and second, there is also this, I would call it, investment fund, which would be set aside by unused allowances from ETS, which would actually help also these countries in Central and Eastern Europe to renew the old power stations, to renovate the energy park in a way that it respects much more environment and is much cleaner than what there is right now.
Thank you.